that took a little while. I have spent probably 20 minutes moving the camera here, moving the camera there, checking that the light is okay. But I think it's okay, so I'm going to make a start because I'm just really excited to be here and be chatting with you, which is great. So it's been quite a while, hasn't it? It's been, the last time I filmed, I think when I checked it was June. I filmed a podcast back in June, so which I know was a few months ago, but it seems like even longer than that. It seems ages ago, and since June lots has happened, and yeah, I felt like I wanted to have a chat with you again, show you what I've been up to, what I've been making. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. There's probably going to be quite a lot of chatting, so I suggest you probably go and make yourself a cup of tea or a coffee, grab a snack, grab some crafts, some knitting, some crochet or some hand stitching, and then yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So I'd best probably say hi and introduce myself because there's been quite a few new subscribers. So hi and welcome. My name is Cherie. I live in the UK with my husband, 3 children and 2 pussycats, and hopefully we won't have any interruptions. Now the children are all at preschool, primary school, secondary school, so we won't have any interruptions from them today. Although if you have been a viewer for a little while, I'm sure you've met Maisie, who is a very vocal, needy cat. And if you have a cat, I'm sure you probably understand and you know what the cats are like. They're hilarious. I do have 2. I have Molly as well, but she's very vocal, but she's not normally one to be down. But they're both snuggled upstairs on the bed. Jamie, my husband, is upstairs working from home because at the minute he's following the guidance from work. They're really encouraging you, if you can work from home, stay at home, which you can. So he's upstairs working, and so we shouldn't have any interruptions. The only interruptions we might have is the doorbell if it's the postman, because I'm waiting on some fabric that I've ordered, which, oh, gorgeous. I would love for it to arrive whilst I'm chatting with you, because then I can open it and show you, but if not, I can share it with you next time. So it's Friday the 25th of September, and yeah, that's about it really. The weather, because of course I have to talk about the weather. It's beautiful blue sky outside, although really heavy downpours, so it's definitely not the type of weather you want to hang your washing out. Don't know about you, but I've got 2 old-fashioned lines, like pulley washing lines, and by the time I've put the washing out on both lines, top and bottom, I've done that a few times and I've come back in and it's just started raining. I'm literally like, seriously, hanging out washing, ironing, they have just got to be the most tedious jobs ever. Oh, boring. Anyway, you don't want to know about that, do you? I will make a start. So I've made some notes. I've got a lovely cup of tea, because I'm a little bit, I don't know if you can hear it, I'm a little bit under the weather. I've got a bit of a cold, so I've got a bit of sniffles, but that has not put me off because I'm, like I say, really excited to chat with you. So I'm just going to get into it. So, and I'm probably going to say so like 1,000 times, you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to chat to you first of all about current bits, and let's grab these first. So I'm going to show you these socks. Now these are living in my beautiful bag, which is by lovely Emma of the Eldenwood Craft podcast, and Emma has a lovely shop with all of her beautiful handmade bags, and my lovely friend Amy, she gifted me this, which was gorgeous and so lovely of her. She is lovely, and she makes the most amazing socks, which I chat about probably every episode that I do, but she seriously does make the most amazing socks. Now You're gonna laugh. These socks, I've changed my mind on them about 3 times. I've got my little, I've not decorated the front yet, but this is my little project card, which Nicky, my lovely friend Nicky, who is on Instagram as Clara Peggotty, and I'm sure that's the same as Nicky's Etsy shop, designed. In a minute I'm going to show you the actual, oh let me grab it, I'll be back. So I've grabbed my project book. Can't remember what Nicky calls them now, but Nicky designed this really cool project journal where you have individual cards that you can record your project details on, which is fantastic. So on the front here, there's a little section here where you can write down the designer, the yarn, your needles, what size you made, when you started it, when you finished it, and any other information that you want to add there. And then the idea is the front here, which is blank, you can decorate. You could even take a photo of the progress of your project. I'll show you an example here of one that I've finished. These were the Wish You Were Here socks that I made for Isabel back in the summer. And I showed these on my previous podcast. I had done one of the socks, but I hadn't finished the second one, but you can see there that I have finished them. She loves them, and I dyed the yarn myself, and so I wrote the details here, and I put a little hole punch in the side of the card, and then I put some of the yarn through it, which is really nice, and it adds a lovely texture to it. And just imagine when this is full, all the yarn, that just looks so lovely and tactile to me. So that's the idea. So, but you could, and then I took a picture of the yarn there as well, but you could easily add multiple images on there if you wanted to. So Nicky was selling the books themselves, including the little rings, the front and back covers, and then she was including some of the templates, the cards inside as well. But I don't know if she has these in her shop at the minute, but what she does has is the actual download. So you can go into Nicky's Etsy shop, and I'm sure it is Clara Peggotty. I will add links below, and Nicky has a wonderful podcast, which if you've not watched, I definitely recommend you go and have a little look, called the Sheep Cheerful podcast. It's fun, it's lovely, which I know I'm going to say that because she's my friend, but it really is. She makes me giggle every time I watch her, and she's oh, she just finished a beautiful, beautiful sweater. I've forgotten the name of the sweater now. I know she calls it the chicken sweater, but it's beautiful and the colours are amazing. But yes, so project notebook card. And what's funny is I've put here, so I've crossed out, I was using 2.25 needles, and I've crossed it out. I'm now using 2.5s because for some reason my tension has gone quite tight with socks. And then I've put, so I originally started these in the summer for the summer sock camp, which Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady was running. Then I had to frog them back. So these first started out as the blueberry waffle sock. That's Emma's card there, her details there. I'll put Emma's details down below. I find so much stuff in my project bags, it's really funny. And I just struggled, I absolutely struggled with that pattern, which I know it's frustrating because I can knit socks and I can knit lacy socks, you know, nothing too elaborate, but the blueberry waffle pattern, which is a free pattern, I've just got a black and white copy of it here. I'm sure lots of you have knitted it. It is literally like one of probably the most easiest pattern, but I could not, I kept going wrong, and it was really frustrating. And so in the end, I thought, no, I'll just do vanilla socks. And then I thought, oh, do you know what? I really want to have a pattern, use a pattern. So I'm now using, which is a similar pattern, creates a similar texture, but it is slightly different. I'm now knitting the lovely Crunkled socks because I saw Gaynor had knitted these and they just looked lush. So I'm now knitting these. And these are the Crunkled socks by Kay Jones. And that's me moving the chair. And so far so good, she says. That's what they look like at the minute. Let me come up to the camera and I'll show you a bit closer. And so I'm knitting these on 2.5s and my tension is a lot better. 64 stitches. I did a 2x2 twisted rib, which is my favourite rib. It looks so neat, I love it. It does take that little bit longer, but afterwards you look at it and you think, yeah, that was definitely worth the extra. I don't know how much longer it would take you to do them. And I'm using them on my Chalgoos, which I ordered, which I love. These are my favourite needles, and I'm doing them 2 at a time. So I've changed my kind of way I do socks now. I used to love doing them on DPNs, and I still really do enjoy using DPNs, but I was really struggling with second sock syndrome, and I think being a busy mum, having lots to do, and obviously I want to make everything. It's just so much easier doing it 2 at a time. So I'm really happy that I'm doing these at 2 at a time. Although I'm having to make a little note what round I'm on because I don't want to get myself confused again. And I'm using, I'm sure I would have did I show this in my previous podcast? Can't remember now, but this yarn is by Sherry Iris and it's from, I think I did actually, and it was from the Life of Birds Club, the sock club, and it was Goldfinch. That's the little card there, which, oh, gorgeous. The artwork is amazing, absolutely amazing. You might be able to hear the rain now. And then this was the little mini that came with it, and I've just added it onto the top. I can't decide, I might add this onto the heel, I'm not sure yet. So that's what's happened with them. So of course my Goldfinch yarn is in my Goldfinch bag, which is brilliant. Okay, so let's move on to the next, leave that one there. Let's move on to the next project. I'm going to have a sip of tea, and it's started to rain now. Typical. Next up is, oh, the cutest little thing ever. Are you ready? Not sewn in her little tail, but look how cute. This is a lovely project bag which my friend Lindsay from Stitch Create Love made and sent me, and how lovely that she's embroidered my name on the front, and it's lovely. It's got feathers all over it. It has a little charm here, a little feather charm, and it's all lined inside with this really pretty pale blue fabric with like a floral detail over it. It's lovely, really lovely. And so the bunny, she's not got a name yet, she's living in here, and this crochet bunny is hopefully going to be the one of many, and she's going to be a present for, I've not decided if she's going to be for Isabel or Jessie yet, but I'm going to make some more and they're going to be gifts for Christmas. I'm just trying to get some of the yarn out to show you. Oh, and also Lindsay put in a lavender bag little lavender pouch, and these really pretty stitch markers. And Lindsay also has an Etsy shop, so and a podcast. So I will leave links again down below where you can find Lindsay. Right, let's get everything out, and then I can, as I'm chatting to you, I can tidy it up then, can't I? Right, so this pattern is by Julie of Little Woolly Makes, and you can find Julie on Instagram, and she has an amazing yarn shop in Australia. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Pop onto Julie's Instagram and look for her feed. You will, an hour later, and you'll still be looking through, because this is beautiful. Oh, I love it, absolutely love it. And so on Ravelry, this is a paid for pattern. You can find the crochet bunny pattern. Oh, so cute. Look, that one's even got a bag. I'll pop that one in there. So the yarns that I'm using, I hand dyed some Suri alpaca. Oops. And I did take a little video of this, so at the end of the podcast I'll see if I can add in a couple of little clips of how the yarn looked when I was dyeing it. But isn't it lovely? Oh, so sweet. So obviously this bunny is made with this combination. And then I've not decided yet how what I'm gonna do, because this one's multicoloured. That one's really lovely. But, see, they all look really lovely together, don't they? And I quite like, see, look at that colour there, that's lovely, that one. We will see. I mean, the possibilities are endless, aren't they? So I'm just using hand-dyed 4-ply yarn. Pop them back in there. And then I've just got a black one. This yarn here, again, I dyed this one black for my goldfinch socks that I made. And I'm using a 2.5 hook, and this is by the brand Tulip. They are my favourite hooks. So there you go. I feel bad now for putting her back in, but she's going to keep everything tidy in here and look after everything, aren't you? And we need to think of a name. Although I know sometimes the children, they like to name them, don't they? But yeah, hopefully next podcast I'll have more. I'd love to make like a bunch of them, because I know the girls would really like them and play with them. So, and of course you could, once you have the pattern, you could make a bigger one or a smaller one. You could use like DK yarn, you could use Aran weight yarn, you know, you could make it like a family, couldn't you? That would be really nice. Bye bye. Pop it back in there. Magic. Oh, okay. Socks. Another sock. Right. Back in the summer, when I cast on my, what was at the time my blueberry waffle socks, I also cast these on, and oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. I think it's past. Yes, so I cast on my blueberry waffle socks, and at the same time I also cast these socks on, which, oh, aren't they beautiful? So the pattern is by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, and it's the heel toe do-si-do socks. If I put my hand like that, hopefully you'll see the pattern better. And I was knitting these on, or I am knitting these on 2.25 needles, DPNs, and they just were so tight on me, so tight. And I was gutted, absolutely gutted, but they do fit Isabel, and she really likes them. And look at the yarn, I've got a lot of it. So, and I've done a contrasting heel there. The yarn is by Sarah of the Stripy Cat Yarns, and this was from the June Yarn Club colourway. And again, I'm sure I probably chatted about these in my last podcast, so I won't go on about them too much, but all I will say is they're not going to be for me, they're going to be for Isabel. They do fit her, and she really likes them, and so I just need to do the foot, and then I need to cast on the second one. But again, I wish I'd maybe done these two at a time, because look, I'm obviously not reaching for them, and it's a shame because the yarn is so pretty. It's lovely, and it's a lovely pattern as well. Hopefully I'll have them finished next time. So I'm going to pop them back in there, and that's in my lovely cat bag from my lovely friend Rachel. So Amy, I think that was my first bag that I bought from Rachel. Having a tea break now. Oh dear, it's going a bit cold. Cold tea is not nice. Right, let's have a look at the next one. So the next project is a shawl, and it's living in my Ollie and Bella bag that I dyed with avocados a while ago now. And there's a reason why I've picked out this project bag. I don't know about you, but when you cast on a project, do you, maybe it's me being a bit sad, but I find it really exciting to go hunting for a project bag, and sometimes you'll be drawn to a certain project bag because, I don't know, maybe it's the design of it, or the colour of it, or there'll be something about it which links you to the project, if that makes sense. So the reason why I picked this one is because I dyed this one with avocados, and the yarn I'm using is also yarn that I dyed with those avocados, and totally a different colour, which is interesting. I will show you. So I'm knitting the Hollows shawl by Melody of Bmandarines. This is a paid for pattern, and it's so pretty. Look at all the eyelets. I love shawls that have lots of eyelets. I'm not keen on, I really like shawls that have got cabling in them, but the only reason why I don't do them is because the cables just, I think, are too much for my brain. It's too much for my brain, because there's some beautiful shawls with cabling, and I don't feel very confident making one with cables, but this one with the eyelets is beautiful. So I am using, oops, whack me head in with the needles, this beautiful mohair. I'm going to come up close to the camera so you can see it. So I'm holding a strand of mohair with a strand of undyed DK yarn, and it has a gold, it's gold stellina as well, which is really pretty. The two together, oh, feels so snuggly. I hope that you can kind of see on the camera how snuggly that actually looks. It feels very snuggly as well. So I will come up to the camera and show you a close-up. Okay, so the story behind the yarn, when I dyed this bag, and I also dyed a couple of mini skeins, I think, I bottled up the dye solution and kept it in a bottle, and I put it in a dark place in a cupboard, and then forgot all about it. And then I thought to myself, quite some time later, I'm talking months and months later, I'm sure it was last October that I dyed the bag, and I thought, oh, I'm going to dye. I'd already decided I wanted to make the shawl. I bought the pattern, downloaded it, printed it, had a little look in my stash, picked out, I wanted to keep it quite pale, excuse me, wanted to keep it pale, and so picked the DK yarn with the gold stellina, and then thought to myself, I know what I'll do. I'll dye some mohair. Now the pattern doesn't actually call for mohair. It doesn't actually say to use mohair. It just says to use DK yarn. Or does it say? Oh no, actually it says fingering yarn. But I've took it upon myself to, I'm using the DK and I'm holding it with mohair, so that makes it really snuggly and cosy. And so I thought I'll dye the mohair. So I took the avocado solution out, poured it into my stainless steel stock pot, which I just used for dyeing yarn. And it didn't smell off or anything, but as soon as I poured the solution in, I could see it was totally a different colour from when I first bottled it up. And I thought, oh, wonder what colour that's gone. Did I keep it in here to show you? I had a little bit of kitchen roll, which I popped into the pot to test it. And that's what it came out. That's what it came out like a real soft pale grey, and it was beautiful. I then quickly grabbed some bare yarn and dipped that in just so I could see what it looked like, and I was really happy with it. There wasn't a lot of it though, so I had my two, I'm sure these are 50-gram skeins of mohair, kid silk mohair, and so I put one skein in first, and I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but this one here is ever so slightly a little bit darker, and then this was the second one, but they still came out absolutely fantastic. I can't believe that I've been able to get this colour and a soft pale grey. Really, really pretty. Yeah, it's funny how things like that work out, isn't it? And so this is what it looks like when it's knitted, held with the DK Stellina. So what I've done is I've started off with the darker colour. I mean, I'm not sure if it's even going to show a great deal difference once I then move on to this shade. Okay, we had a technical difficulty. The camera turned itself off. There must be something on my, and it wasn't until I was chatting to you about another project that I looked at the camera and realised it wasn't even on. So I'm just going to quickly, so it cut off when I was chatting to you about the shawl. The needles that I'm using, first time using these, and these are the Knit Pro Ginger, that's the packaging, and they feel really lovely. First time using these, and what I like about these, if you've had Knit Pro needles before, the Symphonies, which I have a few of them, they write the needle size. It's printed on the actual needle itself. Now after a while, that rubs off and you can't make out what size it is. So I really like that on the gingers, they have the needle size, they've printed it here on this part of the needle just before it attaches to the cable, so I really like that. Right, let's move on. Right, we're on to the last whip now, which is another shawl. It's a crochet shawl. And I have it living in my mermaid bag, which is another So Re Me bag, and the pattern is the 3 Springs Shawl by Deanne Ramsay, and it's a paper pattern. You can find it on Ravelry, and isn't it lovely? So it uses a main colour, and then it also uses 2 contrasting colours, and on this sample here that she's crocheted, there's a pale pink and then there's a hot pink for the edging. Now the yarn I'm using I bought from a D-stash, and so I only have one skein, and it's by it's Stranded Dye Works, and it's in the colourway Heliograph, and it is absolutely beautiful, really, really beautiful. I will come up to the camera in a minute and show you how beautiful it is. And at the time when I started the shawl, I had lots on my mind, and I wasn't concentrating, didn't read it properly. But the pattern calls for 1.5, so it calls for roughly 150 grams of yarn for the main colour. And so I've only got one full skein. So ideally I do need another half skein, but again, like I say, I bought it from a D-stash. Amy doesn't dye this yarn anymore, and I know I could have, I haven't done a lot. I could have easily taken it out and thought I'll have a look, but in my stash I don't have a lot of, all my yarns that I have are just one skein, one colourways. I don't have 2 skein, 3 skein of the same colours, so I could dye some. I do have some yarn to dye. I could dye some, but I really like this yarn. It's so pretty, and I had my mind set on using this, so I'm not going to let that put me off. I'm going to carry on using this, and I've had a little look, and I'm going to somehow work it out. I've not decided what I'm going to use as my contrasting colour yet, but towards the end I'm going to see if I can use this colour, which is Funfetti by Vicky Brown, and then I've got like a mint and a coral, but nearer the time when I've crocheted more I will show you and you can help me decide what to go for. But I'm going to keep with this colour here because the majority of it will be this colour, and it's so pretty. Right, I'll leave that one out, so I'll come and chat to you about that in a minute. I'm crocheting this on a 4.5 hook, which is a tulip hook. These are my favourite crochet hooks, and inside my project bag there I found my hook roll. I've had these for a while and I love them, absolutely love them. They're my favourite hooks. So I've got a selection here from size 2 all the way up to 6. So I thought I'd show you that because there's so many, again, as with knitting needles, there's so many different crochet hooks, but they're the ones that that I really enjoy using. So that's that one, and we are done now on whips. So I'm going to chat to you now. Now this next section, I feel like it deserves its own section. On to the next section, which is blankets. Now these are whips, but they are long-term whips, so I've kept them separate to my other whips because I don't feel guilty about these. These can take as long as they want. I don't feel like I need to rush them. And so I've got 3. Now I think from the last time I filmed I've still got my Northeasterly and I've got my bits and bobs. Don't know if I've shown you or chatted to you about my granny stripe, which I've started, but I'm going to show you the bits and bobs because I've not done a lot, but I still wanted to show you. It's lovely. It creates really lovely texture. And this is another pattern by Kay Jones. This is the front of the pattern, bits and bobs, and all 3 of these blankets are scrappy blankets, and we are doing the make-along, the Scrappy Adventures make-along. Let me turn my page so I'll make sure I did write down. Oh yeah, the hashtag, if you have a little look on Instagram, if you are on Instagram, it's Scrappy Blanket Adventures, and I've got some prizes to show you. I've got 2 prizes that have come in, which are really exciting, so I'll show you them in a bit. So all 3 of these are for that. We have on my Ravelry and Nicky's, we've got a page up, a thread where you can chat about what blanket you're using, what pattern you're using, what yarns, what scrappy yarns you're using, and a finish objects thread as well. And we're running the make-along to the end of the year, possibly longer. We'll have a chat and decide about that, because blankets, they're just fun to make all year round, aren't they? Especially scrappy ones, and especially the fact that it's coming up to Christmas soon. So I'm sure lots of you will have advents, or you'll do swaps with people. So again, I'll leave details down below about the make-along so you can join in, and I'll leave links to our Ravelry threads. So for the bits and bobs, I made a big magic knot ball, and these are so much fun to make. And I've not done a lot on that one, but it is lovely. I do really love it, and it's in my Bird Street UK bag, which was made by lovely Claire. So that's that one. Now this is my Northeasterly. You've seen me chat about this many times, and this is my lovely bag from Ollie. Even though I've kept the little label on here, she's put dodgy bag, don't look too closely, ha ha. It is definitely not dodgy. There's nothing dodgy about it. It's beautiful. It's got beautiful hydrangeas on there, and if you know me, you know that I love... What way can I go? I love hydrangeas. But I have done some new ones. Oh, look at this! Oh, look what I found in here. Oh, amazing. What's the camera saying? I think the battery's wearing itself out. I think it's had enough of me talking. I might have to go and charge up the camera and come back again, but that's fine because I can have a coffee break. Now I've tried to add progress keepers to the ones that... Oh, that was close and nearly went in the tie. I probably have to come up close to the camera to show you the ones that I've done. So these are the ones that I've done at the minute. Let me flip the camera. Okay, so I've done this one here. I've got my little stitch marker there, which is a bucket of sand and a spade. So I've got this lovely colour. And then I've got this one with my caravan. We have missed visiting the caravan this year, what with everything going on. This lovely one, I love this one. I think this one's a down sheepy lane, because these colours here that I've used are a mixture of down sheepy lane, but also a swap that I did with Ollie. I've got this purple one that I've done. I've got this one here. I think this one was a Nora Georgian's one. That speckly one. What else? I think that was the ones that I've done. So again, it's not grown lots since you've last seen it, but it's still really enjoyable to knit on. That's that one. I have to remember about those chocolates. Yummy, yummy. And so this one is a granny stripe, and this is going to be for Jessie's bed. And I've got it in this basket here. And in here I've got lavender sachets, and then I've got all different mini skeins that I've wound up. And it's really lovely. It's really lovely knitting on a granny stripe. I will come up close to the camera again, and then I will show you. And this is my little basket that I've got all my yarns in there. I can't remember what size hook I was using. Was I using the same size as the one that I'm using for the bunnies? Let's have a look. 2.5, no, I don't think it was that small. Oh, I'm not sure now what hook size I was using. I have to have a little think. I think it was a 3.5. Was it a 3? I didn't want I wanted it to feel quite draping, quite loose. I didn't want it really tight. Really dense. I didn't want that. So I think I was using, let's double check, it's definitely not in here. No, it's not. I think I was using a 3.5 or maybe a 3. But it's lovely. It's really lovely to have projects in little baskets. I love that. So that's the blankets. I was going to show you some prizes that have come in. Let me just move that out of the way. So for the Scrappy Blanket Adventures, myself and Nicky, we said if you would like to donate a prize for the make along, then that would be amazing, and thank you so much. And we both had a nice lot of messages, and I know I had a few messages from you, so thank you so much if you were one of those generous people that wanted to donate a prize. I've received a couple of prizes, which is amazing, and I will show you them now. But if you did message me and you still would like to donate a prize, please can you just message me again. The last few months my head's been a little bit all over the place, so if you could just message me on Instagram, send me a private message just to remind me, then that would be amazing. Thank you. So first up, I'm going to show you the first prize that has come from Rachel, lovely Rachel, who is on Instagram and Etsy as Made by Rachel. So Rachel has made one of her beautiful patchwork project bags, so I've kept it in here, and she's called it Counting Sheep. And oh, absolutely beautiful. Look at that. I'll come up close. It's of a sheep knitting. Oops. Isn't that amazing? Look at the detail as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful bag. And then on the back, really lovely fabric. You've got the sheep knitting, got a sheep on a sleigh, ice skating, and that's Rachel's tag there. And then I'll show you inside the lining. Got a nice plain lining inside, and also it's oh, look at the bottom. I hadn't noticed that. Oh, that's lovely. So you've got that one there. So thank you, Rachel, for donating that. It's beautiful, for making that and donating it. I've got that one there. I'll put that one back in. And Rachel kindly sent me, when she sent the prize, she also sent me a little pack of hexies. I'll show you these as well. Oh, I love that fabric. I've got that fabric. Oh, look at him. Red Riding Hood. Oh, gnome. Piggy. Oh, we all know that's a Liberty one, don't we? Oh, I like that one. Oh, pike. Some strawberries. Oh, bird. And a little sheep. They are lovely. Thank you, Rachel. I'll have to make, maybe I could make like a little mug rug. Let me know if you've ever made a mug rug. Maybe I could make something like that with them, because they're all so lovely, and the colours are really lovely. They all complement one another. And the second prize to arrive was from Nicola, and you can find Nicola on Instagram. I will show you, I'll come up close to the camera again in a minute, and I'll show you Nicola's details where you can find her. But you can find her on Facebook and Etsy and Instagram and Pinterest as Cute Little Lovelies. And she makes handmade bags, purses, wallets and accessories. And Nicola was so kind, bless her. She sent 2 project bags and said that I could keep one for myself, which was so lovely of her. So thank you, Nicola, again. I have thanked Nicola, but thank you again. And so I'm going to keep hold of the drawstring one, and this is going to be the lovely one, which is going to be a prize. Now I need to have a chat with Nicky. If you're watching, Nicky, we need to decide, don't we, what we're going to do. Maybe we might pull one from the chatter thread soon, and maybe wait a little while and pull one from the finish objects thread, because it's still going on. But that's not to say that we can't, if more prizes come in, we can carry on pulling prizes, can't we? So you've got this one here. So yeah, this one's going to be the one that's going to be up. I'll come up close to the camera, and then I've picked this one. So you've got a big handle here, which is always really handy, isn't it? And it's a zip, and it's got a lovely little label on it here. And then it's got a detachable, which I thought was really handy. A detachable little notions pouch here. It's got a little see-through window at the front. Oh, isn't that great? So you could always keep that on there if you wanted. That's the back of it there. It's lovely fabric, lovely peacock fabric. And look at the lining. peacock feathers. And that's Nicola's label there. And inside the bag, you've got, they're really big project bags. And they've got a square bottom to them. They're really big. And you've got a big pocket inside. And then you also have a scissors little case. Nicola's label on that one, and in the lining fabric you also have a DPN. Oops, I'm holding it upside down. You have a DPN holder there, which also has Nicola's label on it. So that one, that gorgeous one, is going to be a prize. And then I'll just quickly show you the one that I picked, which is this one. This is a drawstring one, and again it's in the same fabric except it's just a different colourway. And it's also got a little detachable notions pouch. It's got the little leather, it's like a little, it's not real, it's like a fake leather little label there. It's got the handle here, and the lining is in the lovely white with the turquoise peacock feathers. Scissors pouch. These are really handy, the scissors pouches, because you don't want the tips of the scissors going into your projects, do you, or ruining the lining of your fabric inside your bag. So, and also a DPN, and it's also got the lovely label there, and the pocket. So thank you again, Nicola and Rachel. Back now. Thank you again, that's so kind of you. Oh, I was going to show you Nicola's card, wasn't I? I hope that's focusing. Like I say, I'll put details down below as well. So, let's move them to one side. I took them out of their packaging, so it won't be too rustly, and I will move them, or Nicola very kindly put in some tea. I did have another sachet, I don't know where it's gone now. Some Bird and Blend tea. This is nearly Nirvana. It is a luxury white silver needle tea with spiritual spearmint and heavenly jasmine to help you reach Nirvana. Maybe I need that after this. Feeling the way I feel. And a lovely little notepad here. Well, it's craft card actually, so that's really nice. Brilliant for scrapbooking and crafting, so thank you, Nicola. And there was another tea as well, which I don't know what's happened to that. I've put it somewhere. Right, are you still with me? We're going to chat now about finished objects. And I've got quite a few. Look at these finished objects. Isn't that an amazing pile? Right, let's get to my notes first of all. So I'm going to chat to you about socks first, probably, and these are my Lola socks. Now, if you're on Instagram, I'm almost positive you'll know about these, but just in case you don't, now I do have sock blockers, but I'm going to hold them like this. I will come up to the camera again. It's just that the camera's like across the table from me. Maybe I need to rethink my setup. Anyway, now this beautiful sock pattern. Oh dear, right. Just compose yourself a minute. I used to love making these as a kid. I did used to make them with the kids. Maybe with Oliver and Isabel. I've not made them with Jessie. This lovely pattern was designed by Jules of So Sweet Violet. And this is the official Strictly Sock Along pattern. And it has a beautiful lace detail running down the front of the sock, and Jules's inspiration was feathers, because it's the name Lola is after the song. I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to do that to you. What's the name of the song? I guess it is called Lola. She was a showgirl. Anyway, you can have a look at that after if you want to. But so that was Jules's inspiration. Now this year, the sock along, the Strictly Sock Along, is it's special every year, but it's also it's extra special this year because Ali, Little Drops of Wonderful, who came up with the marvellous idea of a Strictly Sock Along, has teamed up with Jules and Kelly of Lay Family Yarns, and those amazing ladies together have decided that they wanted to help raise funds for Gainer's son, Bill, for his amazing school that he goes to, which sadly is underfunded. It's a marvellous school that helps children with autism, lots of other special individual needs that they need, and it's a really amazing school, but again, like I say, sadly very underfunded, and they desperately need a new school minibus. And so the ladies teamed up together and they thought what would be absolutely amazing is if we could help raise money for Bill's school to help get them a bus, a minibus. So Jules is donating, if I've got this right, £3 from every sock pattern that's sold. £3 will be donated towards the minibus. And Kelly has, I think she sold out of them. She had sock sets in her shop and then they went on pre-orders, but I think they might be sold out. And Kelly was very kind and she was donating £4 from each sock set, which was amazing and so lovely of them. And you can follow the hashtag on Instagram as Bill's Special Bus, and pop over to Gainer's feed as well. Did I mention Gainer? Oh, it'll be coffee time in a minute. So Gainer's son, Bill, Gainer from Tales of Cuckoo Land. Oh, she's going to be watching this, laughing at me. I know she is. She's used to me, it's fine. And so Gainer also has a raffle on at the minute actually. So head over to Tales of Cookie Land on Instagram and also on YouTube. Gainer's got her vlogs and her podcasty type thing. She is amazing. That woman, seriously, she filmed so many daily vlogs through lockdown and carried on doing it. Absolutely amazing. And if you record a podcast or you film a vlog, you will know that the work that goes into it, it really is. And to do it every day for such a long period of time, she's amazing. She is so inspirational. She really is. She's lovely. She's so lovely. And she has a raffle on at the minute for you to win a advent calendar from Beaches and Birdsong. Have I got that right? I think I've got that right. And you can buy a raffle ticket. It's only £1 and you can buy as many as you like. So head over to Instagram. Again, I'll try to remember to leave links down below. And so Gainer at the minute is trying, bless her heart, to raise, like I say, raise as much money as she can. The space on the camera was full, so I had to delete some off. Then it was telling me that it needed to be charged up again. Anyway, I think I was chatting to you about the Lola socks, weren't I? And I was saying about the Advent, and I was saying about Strictly. So I think I covered everything. Now the yarn I used to knit my socks was this lovely yarn from Sherry, and I was going to show you a close-up on the camera, wasn't I? And the main yarn, the lovely yellow yarn, is called Ladies Who Lunch, and Sherry gave us this when we met up with her for lunch with the lovely Karen and Gainer, so it's extra special, this yarn, extra special. Right, let me show you close up. And then for the toe, this is Yarn Lab UK by Lana, and this was from my Advent that I had from Lana. Oh, my 2008 Harry Potter Advent. I love how this section here stripes between your main colour and then going into this colour here. And I love how This is striped as well, it's really lovely. And then you've got the lovely lace, which is only, I'm almost positive if I've remembered this correctly, is only a 4-row repeat. And it's got this lovely pearl edging either side of it. So if you have never ventured into a pattern, you can definitely do this. You could definitely do it. It's beautiful. And it runs all the way. So you've got your rib, and then it runs all the way down the front of the sock. It's absolutely gorgeous. That was my tag, that was on the yarn. Ladies who lunch. And so that's them. So I've probably spoken enough about them now, haven't I? That's not done. Right, so next up is a snuggle down. And I think I'd started this one in my last one, but hadn't finished it. Isabel is having this one. And this is by Jules. Another pattern by Jules. And it's lovely and snuggly. I'm sure you've all heard of this pattern, but in case you haven't, I can definitely recommend it. It is lovely. Great for using up scraps. I mean, this was part of the Magic Knot Ball along that Jules was running over summer, and that's why it's got like a scrappy feel to it. It's actually my second one that I've made, and you hold it with a strand of Surrey alpaca, and it gives, oh, the name Snuggle Down is just perfect for this. Absolutely perfect. So I finished that one as well. Next, you might have seen these on my Instagram, are my Halloween socks. And the yarn for this is by Suzanne of Green Lambkin Yarn. Absolutely, this yarn is just amazing. It's called Jelloween. It's such a good name, isn't it? Let's see if I can find the tag. I don't think that's the tag. Where have I put it? Oh, I can't find it now. Anyway, let me show you the yarn. And so I just made vanilla socks. What I did these 2 at a time and loved them. Did everything on the needles. So I did, this time I just went for a traditional 2x2 rib, just wanted something different. Now I did do the leg part. Normally I like 50 rounds, but this time I tried 40 just to see how I got on, but they fit lovely and they're fine. Then I did a slip stitch heel turn, and then I knit, I haven't counted, but I knit how many rounds it was for the foot, and then I did an umbrella toe, which I did from Kay's pattern from the Drippity Drop socks, and they fit perfectly. I'm so happy with them. Let me put them on the sock blockers. These aren't the best sock blockers. I really like the look of, oh my gosh, getting myself in a muddle here. I really like the look of the bunny ones, because the leg part seems to be really long on the bunny ones. And I've got some yarn left, and Jessie has already said to me, Mummy, I would like a pair of spooky socks. So I need to, I'm going to cast them on for her soon, because she'd like a pair of spooky socks as well. She loves socks. Oh. Perfect, isn't it? So funny. And like I say, they fit perfect. I need to, what I should have done, but I can find out. I need to count from when my last gusset decrease was to where my first decrease is for the toe, just so I can find out my perfect sock recipe. And these were on 2.5s. That size is definitely the size I need for my socks now, so love them. Let me come and show you up close. this is what I've got left. And it's also on a silver stellina base as well. I did also buy, I haven't got them with me, maybe I'll show you them next time. I bought Eeny Meeny, was it Eeny Meeny Halloweeny? And Witchy Long Stockings, which again both of them are absolutely lovely yarns, so I'll save them for next time. So yeah, really happy with them. And then the next finished object, I'm on a roll aren't I, is my Moonwake cowl by Andrea Mowry. And this is actually shorter than what it should have been. I was running low on the grey, and I think this, again, I mentioned it on the last episode, I needed to order another ball of grey yarn and I just didn't get around to doing it. And then I pulled this whip out at the weekend because I was trying to get whips finished, and I thought, let me have another look at it. And I kind of like looked at it and pretended to like see how big it would be once it was joined up, and thought, you know what, with a cowl, I don't like anything that's too loose. And so I was quite happy to carry on with the pattern, with the colour work as much as I could, until I had to make sure I left myself a long enough piece of yarn to be able to kitchener all the stitches together. And I did, and I'm really, really happy with it. Let me try it on. I'm molting. If it's not the cats, it's me. Let me try and put it on so you can see how lovely it is. And it's so snuggly, and I love that it's not too long and it's close up, so with a coat on it will really feel like as if it's hugging your neck, which I really like. And the colour work is really, really nice. And so the yarn I used was Willow and Lark yarn, and it actually so happens that when I looked online for it, they don't sell it anymore in the shade that I needed, in this green shade. That's the label. And I think it's 100% wool. Yes, it is 100% wool. So I don't have any of the grey left. I've still got more of this left, and a couple more colours. Let me show you the cowl up close. Can you hear that wind outside? It's crazy, isn't it? It's lovely, really, really lovely. Oh, someone's fallen over. And when you join it with a twist. So another finished object. And I can see on the camera it says we've only got 15 minutes left, so I'm sorry if this next section feels like it's going to be a bit rushed, but that's okay because I've been chatting for quite a while, and I know you're probably busy now and you probably need to refill that cup, don't you? You need to have another cup of tea or coffee. So my final 3 finished whips are all hats. I've got the Kabuk hat, and I've made notes so I don't get everyone confused. So this one's by Caitlin Hunter, and I'd started this one on the previous episode, and the yarn I used for this one, I held it double. So I held one strand of DK yarn undyed, and then I dyed some mohair and held it with a strand of this lovely mohair. And I'll try it on for you. So I always like to see, when people make hats, I always like to see the hats on them. And it's come up really nice. It's a bit slouchy, but I don't mind that. It's got a bit of a slouch on it. I've not put, now I've got a pom-pom. I can't decide if I should put the pom-pom on this one, if I should put the pom-pom on that one, or my next hat, I'll show you these close up again, is this one here. and it's a lot smaller. You can see it's a lot smaller. And this is the road tripping hat. So this hat here, the Kabuk hat, that one is by Caitlin Hunter. It's really pretty. It's got a bit of cable as well, and it's got all the bobbles on. And this next one is the road tripping hat, and this is by Christina of Chelsea Yarns, who has the Chelsea Pearls podcast. Now I've kind of cinched the top of the hat together, but I've left the yarn there because, again, I can't decide if this one I should add the pom-pom to. This yarn is I held, so with this one I used this yarn here by Sherry Iris, and this was in the colourway 11. I've had this in my stash for a while. It was a Stranger Things colourway. It's beautiful. There's blues, there's greys, there's browns, really, really gorgeous yarn. And I held it double with mohair. So I can't decide if this one should have the pom-pom. What do you reckon? Do you think the road, leave me a comment below and let me know, do you think this one needs the pom-pom, the road tripping hat? Or do you think the Kabuk hat needs it? What do you reckon? This one? Or this one? What do you reckon? Which one shall I pop it on? Because my third hat is a beret. It's got a little, can you see that? It's got like the little stem bit at the top, which makes me giggle. Don't ask me why, but I just giggle. Now this one is called the Salou Cherie, or the Salou Cherie. No, it's not Cherie, it's Cherie. Beret. Beret. I love this one. And this is also mohair. I really like that one. And this one, I had quite a lot of mohair left over, obviously, from the road tripping hat. So what I had left over, I used and held it double with this yarn here, which was a lovely gift from Nicola of Bumble Stitches in Luck. Nicola was, it was Nicola who I bought my yarn from the D-Stash. And also, look at this beautiful project bag. I bought some other project bags as well, but I'll show you them as and when I use them. Isn't that lovely? So I had it in there. Yeah, so I used the remainder of the mohair from the road tripping and held it double with this yarn here. And when I met Nicola, when was that, Nicola? Last summer? She very kindly had lots of lovely gifts, and one of them was this beautiful yarn, which is, at the time, it actually had the label of Little Tailoress when Amy was dyeing it under that name, Little Tailoress, and held it double with this mohair. So you probably get the idea that I like mohair on the hats. So you can, obviously this one doesn't need a bobble. And this hat is by Sari, and did I write her surname down? Lord Luna. I don't know if I've said that correctly, but it definitely is Sari. And I will leave a link to her, to the pattern below. And she also has a YouTube channel as well. And so does Nicola. So there's that one. What I'll do is I will come up close and show you them so you can see them. This is the Kabuk one. And if I show you the mohair that I used, which is the one that I dyed, I just held it double with a plain undyed DK, and it gave this really lovely like watercolour effect. It's really soft, really pretty. So it's that one. And then this was the Sherry Irish yarn that I used with undyed mohair. That's that one. And then this was the beret, held double with these two. So pretty, this one, really pretty. That's how that one looks. Kind of reminds me of like a baby's hat, but it's really lovely. Really like that one. It does have like the way you do the decreases. I've not blocked any of these. I'm not going to block them. They're hats at the end of the day. They're just going on my head. So that's all I need to show you in that section there for finished objects. That's quite a lot though, isn't it? I definitely won't have that many next time. Let's pile it all up. And I had finished the Wish You Were Here socks for Bella since then. So that's not bad going, is it? That's pretty impressive. But don't expect that next time. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. I think the only other thing I was going to chat to you about was I want to knit another pair of wrist warmers. I made these last year with some yarn that I dyed, and I held it double with some Suri alpaca, and it gave this really lovely thick fabric like texture. Oh, lovely, 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 and cozy and thick and warm. And I really like my wrist warmers to be long. I don't like short ones. I wear them, but I just find that by the time my coat sleeve comes here and your wrist warmer's there, when you're moving your arms around or you're doing things and your sleeve goes back, you've got that little bit of skin, haven't you? And when it's really chilly, it's really cold, whereas I love that you can put your coat on, and even if your sleeve, if you're moving around or doing something and your sleeve pulls back, your skin is still lovely and snug and warm because it's got your wrist warmer on. So I'm thinking about making another pair of these or something similar. I may make a pair that I would call like my house ones, but they don't have the thumbs on them. They're just basically like that. They're like tubes. That's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm making them even more longer that I can wear in the house, because come this time of year I get really cold hands and cold feet and a cold nose, and I think that they would be lovely in this. So I went to stash shopping, which is the best, isn't it? Stash shopping is the best. You don't need to feel guilty about that at all. And so I've got this lovely yarn which I bought ages ago, and this is by Felt Fusion, and it's Molly in the Harry Potter Molly colourway. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's high twist, superwash merino nylon sock, and that to me is just autumn. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So that's what I'm thinking. Now I did plan on making socks, but these, I feel I want to be looking at them. And I know you look at your feet when you're at home walking around, but I don't know. I want them to be want these to be wrist warmers. That's the plan of action. I was going to chat to you about other things, but I feel like as if I've probably chatted long enough. So what I'm going to do is I will leave it there and just say to you, thank you so much if you've made it all the way through and you've watched. I hope you've enjoyed it, and it's been so lovely to spend some time with you again. And fingers crossed I'll be back in maybe 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time, or whenever I feel like I've got enough to chat to you about. That's what it is really. It's enough to make sure I've got enough to chat to you about, and I'll be back again. And then anything that I feel that I've missed out this time, I can add on and I can chat to you about that next time, can't I? So I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Please leave me a message down below. I'd love to know what you're up to, what you're doing. Let me know about the hats. Yeah, I think that's it. I think my tummy's rumbling. I think it's time for me to have something for lunch and sit down and edit this. So yeah, thank you again for watching. See you soon. Bye.